Hey guys, how's it going? So I just wanted to touch base really quick. I know if you're like I am and you're kind of browsing around at all the million different products to try and supplement some weight a little bit on your diesel or your gas pickup with putting a heavy camper on there. You've probably been doing research just like I did. I was kind of in a pinch about 6 months ago. I was taking about 1,000-mile trip and I needed to put my camper on ASAP. I'd had airbags in the past. Airbags are great, especially if you get good ones. I mean, they level your truck out, any load. I mean, dump trailer, you got a tractor on the back, you got a gooseneck, anything. They'll level you out, no problem. It's just a ride that I got with my airbags with a camper on was not sufficient for me. I didn't feel like it was great, and I wanted to try something else. I got tired of going around corners and feeling like I was going to tip over. So I tried these Timbrens here. And basically what they are is they're an oversized bump stop. They're made out of a really cool material. This is what it looks like right here. So it's just this big bracket. There's a 1-inch puck spacer in there if you decide to put it on, and then a big oversized bump stop, and that just sits on your saddle on your axle. And so I threw those on. Installation was ridiculously easy. I mean, you literally back your bolt out on your bump stop, drop it down, put their bracket on, slide the new bump stop up in there, choose whether you want to put the spacer on or not, and bolt it together, and you're done. And basically all it does is, if you choose to leave the 1-inch spacer out, you're going to be sitting, they want you to sit about a 1/2 inch above your axle. That way when you put a load on, this big fat bump stop here will be able to suppress some of the weight and keep your truck sitting more level while also stable. And I mean, I'll give them props on that. It did work, right? I mean, for some reason, somebody took the factory overloads off this truck. I don't know why. I think they wanted just a nicer ride. So my truck is a 2007 6-liter Power Stroke, and it's just got a nice Hillsboro flatbed on it. But I put an in-bed truck camper on there in the winter and do a lot of camping. And so I needed something in a pinch, and I thought about doing oversized leaf springs or oversized helper springs, and that's why these are coming off today, is because I didn't feel like they worked very good at all without the 1-inch puck in there. I felt like as soon as I put my camper on, it was sitting up higher than it was with nothing on it because the factory overloads are gone, but it wasn't looking level at all. And part of that is because I did put a leveling kit on the front of my truck, so it does kind of have a little bit more of a rake in the front. If I didn't have that on there, I think it would look quite a bit better. But I love the look of a leveled truck with a little bit bigger tires, and that's about it for me. But I decided to run the 1-inch spacer, which helped. It gave me an extra inch of height in the back with all the weight on. But for what these things say they're rated for, which I bought the SES kit, and I bought the severe duty one, which is supposed to be the heavy rated one for campers, or if you put them in the front for snow plows or whatever. I just didn't feel like it was doing its job. And I mean, for what these things are, they are kind of fairly expensive. I think my kit was like $350. Like I said, putting them on, piece of cake. Easiest thing you'll ever do, way faster than a set of airbags. And for some people, these are probably going to be the best thing since sliced bread. But for me, I just feel like if I'm already spending $350 on these, now that I'm not in a pinch anymore, it's almost winter time, my camper's put away, I'm going to try something else. And if these new helper leaf springs I'm going to try from this local spring shop up here in Washington, if they don't end up working, then I guess I'll go back to airbags, because I honestly felt like airbags were even better than these. As far as stability, there's no comparison. I'd rather ride on these big stiff bump stops all day long with my camper on than ride on my Firestone airbags, because I was never the guy that put 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds in my airbags and just blew them way up to be level. I mean, I always needed maybe 35, 40 pounds, and that would level me up, give me a nice cushion. But even with that, I mean, it was just teeter-tottery, and I did not like it. And so what I'm kind of hoping is that the same spring company that sold me these Timbrens, and they told me flat out before I bought them, like, hey, our springs are better than these, but, you know, our springs are almost double the price. And I was like, ugh, you know, ouch, for one, and for two, I don't have time, you know. So that's where I'm at. I just wanted anybody thinking about getting these Timbrens, if you're in a pinch, or if your truck sits nice and halfway level with your camper on, you just need a little more stability, these Timbrens are awesome. I mean, they really made my truck and camper feel good going around corners. I mean, you're on the interstate, you got a 3,000 pound camper on the back and a car trailer behind that. I was doing it at 70 miles an hour on corners, and it was 10 times better than Firestone airbags. So there's no comparison to, I guess, handling. And the best thing is the reason they want you to set these Timbrens at about a 1/2 inch tolerance off your bump stop cradle is because that way when you don't have a load on, they don't affect your ride. They sit 1/2 inch above it. So yeah, if you hit a pothole, yeah, your axle's going to come up and hit the bump stop, and it is a little bit of a hammer. I mean, it's a lot stiffer than your factory bump stop. But yeah, your factory ride is unaffected, which is nice. So that's a great pro. They're very stable. I had to run that 1 inch spacer, so just to give me extra height, because I was laughing. You know, I got a crew cab 1-ton flatbed, nice looking truck, and my camper's not the heaviest in the world, and it was sagging to the moon. I mean, it was embarrassing. So I had to put the 1 inch spacer in there to give me everything it could give me. And with that said, when you're driving around with no camper on, you're riding on the bump stop all the time, and I just got tired of it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm gonna try out these new severe duty springs. They're basically like a heavy 5-pack overload, and since my factory ones are already gone, you know, I think this is gonna be the best option for me. But yeah, I'll try and let you guys know how that goes. So you got any questions, throw them in the comments. I mean, I've had these things on for better part of a year, and that's what I think of them. So yeah, let me know if you got any questions, and I'll try and let you know how these new springs go. Thanks.